What's going on, guys? Today we're talking about the VA appraisal waiver. What does that mean? Because a lot of people don't realize that you can actually waive repair items on a VA appraisal. There's a lot of things that go with that, so we'll break that down. My name is David Piatek. I am a loan officer and able to help you utilize that amazing VA home loan. You can schedule a call with me down in the description below. Then you can get all this information that you get from the channel tailored towards your situation, right? Towards your VA home loan and that beautiful journey that we can go on together. All right, so let's break down what this means. One, the reason I'm doing the video is because we recently did a waiver for a veteran. Appraisal came back and it was with cracked sidewalk, and the VA's like, it has to be fixed. The VA appraiser, should I say, noted that it has to be fixed. And we're like, no, this doesn't make sense. This is pretty common. So we had the veterans was okay with it as well. So we submitted the waiver. It was approved by the VA. We got it back, submitted to the underwriter, and voila, we're moving forward. And this could have been an extremely big hurdle. And for the simple fact of the cracked sidewalk, there wasn't like a little bit, there was a lot of it. Okay. The homeowner would have had to dug all that out. It would have cost a ridiculous amount of money. But again, the veteran was okay with that process. So if you guys don't know, when the lender orders the appraisal through the VA, they have a 1099 contractor that goes out, that is approved by the VA, goes out and does the appraisal, and then they're going to let us know, hey, it came in at value. If it doesn't, that's called tidewater. I have a whole separate video on that. But they'll also have to mark the property as is or subject to. So as is appraisals, we love to see those because nothing needs to be done. Like we're in the clear. If it's subject to, then it's going to list all of the property items that need to be addressed in order for this to close on the VA side. Now, this primarily relates to VA's minimum property requirements. It's in their VA handbook. You can search it. And I did a whole video on the VA handbook as well, because it's what we use to give you all this beautiful information. And also when problems arise in a transaction, that is a great guide to kind of walk us through it. Experience helps you understand what they're actually saying. Otherwise, it's like reading a foreign language and you don't speak that language. All right. So now when it comes to these repair items, it could be as simple as a cracked window. It could be small peeling paint by a window, or it could be something large like cracked sidewalk, or it could be like an illegal kitchen or an illegal unit in the basement that the VA is going to say, hey, this needs to be repaired, right? So the repairs can vary widely. Now, the most common ones that come up, right? And again, this is not coming up on every transaction where everyone thinks the VA is a horrible process. Not that bad, people. It's okay. The common things is peeling paint. Now, this could be peeling paint around windows, inside, outside. It could be around doors. It could be a deck. It can be a garage. It could be around the garage door. That's where you're going to kind of see that, right? So one thing when it comes to that, those items typically are small ticket items, right? They might be a couple $100 to $1,000 in the grand scheme of things, right? Of buying a house. But still, it's just this process that a seller has to go through in order for you to use that VA loan, where on a conventional loan, they don't have to do that, right? So this is why also there's that stigma of like, well, why are we going to accept a VA loan? Because the appraisal process is a little bit stricter, protects the veteran and the VA and the lender kind of a holistically. And I did a video about that. They're talking about potentially making some changes to those requirements, but you let me know in the comment section what you think of that, or if the VA appraisal process actually hindered you from purchasing a property. And we're also going to talk about external structures because those actually can be omitted. A lot of people don't realize that. All right, so back to what we were talking about. So we have these common things that come up, and they may not be big ticket items. So let's just use peeling paint as a good example. If the home was built after 1978, typically you could just submit a waiver. What happens is the lender will walk you through that like we do. We'll be like, all right, this is what you're going to have to say to the VA if you want to be able to purchase the property, or you come up with it on your own. We're just going to be like, hey, this is what the language the VA is using in the appraisal. And then you have to basically say like why you don't want this to happen, right? So let's just say peeling paint house was built in 1980. So essentially, you could be like, look, there's no lead paint in the property. We're not concerned about the peeling paint. We want to be able to waive this because it's going to cause us undue hardship and not be able to purchase this property. And that is a fact for a lot of people because you may be moving out or selling your place. Now this issue comes up. Sellers don't want to do it. And you're like, what are my options? And the V is actually pretty good at getting back. Normally, I think it took us like on this one the other day, 48 hours or so, and they got back to us with like, yeah, that's fine. That's not a problem. So know that you have that option. Sometimes the list is extremely big. Right? We've had that before where it's like $12,000 worth of work. Well, guess what? The VA didn't just like waive all $12,500 worth of work because there was some major things that were wrong. So the sellers did agree to do a part of it, and then we were able to do an escrow holdback for a portion of that, and they had to get those repairs done pretty fast after closing. So know that option exists. Another thing I mentioned was omitting structures and why that's so important. Because I was talking with a buddy of mine, this is a couple months ago, and he's like, I went through that process. This is before I knew him. Otherwise, he'd be using me. So he was like, hey, we had to cancel on a loan because there was a dilapidated barn structure on the property. I'm like, well, why does that make a difference? Well, the VA said that it had to get repaired. The seller said they didn't want to do it. But he could have requested a waiver to omit the entire structure from the transaction on the appraisal. You can do that. Now, there's some cautionary things with that. One is that the big thing really, is that if you omit a structure, now it doesn't count towards value. So you have to be careful with that because what if it doesn't appraise because of that structure? A barn, yeah, nobody really cares. But let's say it's a garage that adds value to the property, right? So let's say you're buying a place for $300,000, appraisal comes back at $300,000 with the garage. You're buying it for $300,000. Now you omit that garage, value drops to $280,000. Now you're running into just appraisal issues. Now you have to come up with money. Sellers don't want to come down on the price. This is why it causes drama. But at least knowing that, like, okay, hey, it's a simple repair in the garage. Sometimes buyers will even pay for the repairs to be done before closing, which is risky, right? But I'm letting you know the options on what you can and can't do. So then they can just get to closing and just get everything cleared up. Normally, when people do that, they're already basically at the clear to close phase of the transaction where everything has been checked off by the lender. They're going to be closing, but they just need the appraisal piece to be completed for that. Note as a side note, which again, I have videos about the appraisal process on the channel. Note that if it's a water test issue or a septic issue that will have to get repaired, I haven't seen the VA submit a waiver. You can try to do that, but just know that it can be an issue. So cracked sidewalks, we submitted it. It worked. Peeling paint, homes built after 1978. Typically, you can get that exception for that. Sometimes even handrails you could use as easy as a justification of like, well, we're young. We don't need to have to be able to hold on to a rail to go downstairs. Whatever it is that you want to use, you can put that together and submit that through your lender. And again, they're going to be a pretty good turnaround process on that. But just be ready just in case they say no, then you're going to have to fight that battle, right? Do you pay for it? Do you have the sellers cover that and just do the repair itself? Again, small ticket items in general transactions are no big deal. The sellers would just do it. But once you get to the 1,000+ mark, then you may run into some issues with that. This is why separately, it's important to get a home inspection on your property so you know the major issues that are wrong with it, because the VA does just really like a quick scrub of the property. So let me know again in the comments section if you guys ran into this issue or you've heard about people having just a nightmare process with that appraisal piece. And if you knew about the waiver, I would like to know how many folks out there actually know this can even be done. Make sure you guys hit the like and subscribe button. Share this with the veteran community so we can get this information out to everyone else. And don't forget, you can schedule a call with myself and my team, and we can help you with this transaction. I'll catch you guys in the next video.